Record that I'll be serving as acting chairman. Now I'll call to order the meeting of the directors of the Statewide Local Development Corporation for June 20th, 2018. The directors have received the written materials in advance of this meeting and are free to ask questions at any time. I'd like to note for the record, we welcome public comment on our agenda items to ensure maximum opportunity for participation. Speakers representing themselves may speak for up to 2 minutes, and those representing groups may speak to up to 4 minutes with a limit of one speaker per group. Speakers' comments may only address the items on being considered at today's meeting. Before we begin with the substantive portion of the meeting, I will ask whether the directors, we're not taking any action, right? So is there any possibility of conflict of interest?
I have none.
None.
Kevin. No, there's not. We're not voting on anything, so it can't really be a conflict. Excellent. So why don't we first consider the approval of the minutes for February 21st, 2018 directors meeting. Are there any questions, comments, additions, or deletions? If not, I would entertain a motion for approval.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right. Any opposed? Thank you. The motion carries. I'd like to now call upon Sean Malone to present the next item on today's agenda, which relates to the JDA loan to Intergrow Holding Company. This item is being presented for informational purposes only. Sean?
In June 2017, the JDA members and the statewide LDC directors approved a change in the location of the Intergrow project from the town of Webster to the town of Ontario. The move stemmed from zoning issues that would have delayed the site review required for the project to proceed in Webster. The loan amount remained the same. Recently, the project's construction lender, Farm Credit East, contacted JDA staff to request that JDA accept a previously negotiated provision between Farm Credit East and Intergrow. The provision requires that Farm Credit East agree to accept 4 personal guarantees, each guaranteeing 25% of the total amount, rather than 100% of the total loan amount, from each owner with a stake of 20% or more in the company. FCE informed JDA that the decision to allow limited personal guarantees is long-standing and based on Intergrow's operating history and financial strength. Upon further discussion, JDA staff determined that accepting the FCE request will have no material effect on the quality of the credit, nor will it impact the overall collateral assessment.
Thanks, Sean. I actually just don't really understand it. So what's the material change here?
As opposed to JDA's normal requirement of 100% personal guarantees from each borrower or each stakeholder with more than 20% ownership in the company, we're accepting 25% to go along with Farm Credit East's request. This was after
25% from 4 different owners, but equals
correct.
Does that equal 100%?
Yes. And so we were initially sort of reticent about doing this, but upon discussion with both Farm Credit East, Intergrow, and then with Ag and Markets, we determined that this was okay for us to move forward with.
So typically we would say the company would guarantee 100%, but instead we're saying 4 private owners of the company each are guaranteeing 25%.
Each guarantor with more than 20, or each stakeholder in the business with more than 20% ownership would be required to do 100% personal guarantee. We're now required each do 25%. And so with the additional collateral on the buildings, we have 3 buildings that we have collateral on. We felt comfortable moving forward with that.
Got it. So typically we would have had potentially 4 folks with 100% collateral, a guarantee of 100% as opposed to in this case, 25%.
Correct.
Got it. Thanks. Any questions from the members? Excellent. Any comments from the public? Beautiful. Sean, would you like to present the next item on today's agenda, which relates to the JDA loan to the United New York Sandy Hook Pilots Benevolent Association and United New Jersey Sandy Hook's Pilots Benevolent Association. This item is being presented for informational purposes only. Sean.
In August 2014, the statewide LDC directors and JDA members approved a $3.435 million JDA loan for the benefit of the United New York Sandy Hook Pilots Benevolent Association and the United New Jersey Sandy Hook Pilots Benevolent Association. The originally approved total project cost was $5.725 million. In June 2017, the statewide and JDA boards approved a $6.475 million increase in the total project cost, resulting in a total project cost of $12.2 million. The increase was due to a number of remediations needed to portions of the building as a result of mistakes made by the original contractor, who was then terminated and replaced by a new contractor. The JDA loan amount remained at $3.435 million. The associations offered their 4 vessels, collectively valued at $3.9 million, as additional collateral. Additional project changes and delays since the hiring of the new contractor led to further cost overruns totaling $440,019, bringing the new total project cost to just over $12.6 million. This increase was all comprised of borrower equity. As was the case with the previous amendment, the JDA loan amount and position remains unchanged. A March 2018 appraisal report valued the building at $12.275 million, which is more than sufficient to cover the loans and meet the required loan-to-value ratio. Given these circumstances, JDA staff is comfortable with the additional increase in total project cost.
Great. Thanks, Sean. Any questions from the directors?
Do you think that's it, Sean?
Yeah, the
I think
project
the
is
440
complete.
is good.
Yeah.
That's what I thought. Okay, great.
Any further questions? Comments from the public? Excellent. There being no further business, may I have a motion to adjourn this meeting?
Motion.
Second?
Second.
Second.
Done. Thanks, folks. Have a good one.